Sorry, just getting set up. Hey, Ian. Can you hear me okay? Because I'm not at the studio. I'm at the shop. Right on, loud and clear. Awesome. Give me just a minute. I'm still getting set up here. Yeah, you've never seen the inside of the shop, have you? Ian, uh, trying to figure out how to move my damn chair. There's part of the history wall there. You can see some of the other stuff in the background. Of course, you can see that big, beautiful bastard right back there too. But I'm trying to get set up. I'm actually going to be streaming on TikTok as well. So I'm trying to get everything set up. So just give me just a minute to get everything set up here. The lamp's for sale if you know anybody that wants it. But okay, so we're live on YouTube. We're live on. Looks like we're live on TikTok as well. We'll give it a minute. You know what? Let's just talk for a minute so everybody can kind of start joining in, and we'll get to it. So, did you guys enjoy the Stall Line Bunker videos? That's one of my goals actually, is to to get just to get to Ukraine period, but to get there and actually see those bunkers as well. Let's see here. Yeah, Jeff. Like I said, if you want the lamp, man, you're more than welcome to buy it. I'm gonna sell it. So I don't want to. I don't think you've ever seen the actual full photos of it, but I'll make sure that you get that. And it looks like we got a few people that have joined. So hey, everybody on TikTok, meet everybody on YouTube, and the rest of the Machine Radio Show family. The box is right behind me. I'm going to open it up here in a second. I'm actually kind of excited. I got some pretty cool friends. They from time to time I get some things, and this is one of them. Direct from Latvia, the Courland Pocket. So I'm really excited to open this thing up. Give me just a second. We'll get started here. I have not even touched the box since it came in. So I wonder what he sent me this time. I mean, last time I can go get some of the stuff that's behind me so you guys can see what he sent me before. As a historian, I love relics because they tell a story, and I love everything that comes in it that has a story. And this being no exception. He's sent me some pretty cool stuff last time. I got a helmet back behind me, and some personal items like a compass and wound badges, belt buckles, stuff like that they sent me before, but this is an entirely new one. And I honestly I know about one item that's actually in this box. Everything else is a complete surprise, so you guys get to see it for the first time as well as I do. Hey, Matt, Incorruptus, Ian, good to see you guys. And it looks like we got Georgette on YouTube, or TikTok, sorry. YouTube's that way. This is TikTok. Darcy, it's nice to see all you guys. I love being able to share this stuff with you. But I don't want to ruin his packing slip here, so cut that free first. Boy, he really packages it good. Shout out to AI History Team, and sorry, Tariq, we're not doing that. This is about battlefield relics and not debates or modern politics, so that's not what we're doing today. I appreciate you wanting to join, but that's just not what we're going to do right now. Let's see. Yeah, it takes a second, guys. Don't want to ruin the labels. But yeah, shout out to AI History Team for sending me this stuff, and you can visit them guys everywhere. They're on everything: Instagram, Telegram, YouTube, TikTok. Good guys, great historians. Always a fun time to hang out with them and get talk to them, and of course get these wonderful relics that they find. I know, Jeff. I'm taking my time. Sorry. How does it smell? It smells like history and sadness, probably. I'm not sniffing the box. I'm not Biden. I'm not going to sniff. I'm not going to sniff random things. Oh yeah, I said no politics, didn't I? Damn it, I ruined that. All right, now we're going to go ahead and open the box. And since I don't know what he's packed in here, I'm being very careful. If it starts ticking, I start running, y'all should just follow me, because it's probably going to be something bad. Yeah, well, the suspense, I'm sorry, I can't see your name on there. Carletta, it's also on YouTube. He's saying the same thing. He's like, the suspense, man, open the box. I hope it gets better smells than Vice Grip's cars. Yeah, I won't argue that. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, shit. Something just fell out. Okay, that'd be packing paper. That's all, yeah, that's all in Russian. I won't be reading that. I can't read it. He does things to me sometimes. Okay, it's all packing material. All right. Yep, things be falling out. Oh my God. He's killing me. Stuff falling out everywhere. All right, we got some, right off the bat, we got some, I'll show you guys first. Got a handful of uniform buttons. There you go, guys. Looks fun trying to do this from two different angles. And one of the pieces that I knew was coming that I was very excited about. It just looks like a piece of aluminum, but you have no idea how excited I am to have this piece. This is a piece of a Ju-87 Stuka dive bomber. This was the plane that Hans Ulrich Rudel was flying in Latvia in the Courland Pocket. It was the only one that was actually downed and confirmed downed. He managed to find it, and he said if he found it, he was going to make sure I got a piece. And there it is. It's going to go on display with the story of Hans Ulrich Rudel. Very awesome. Yeah, I'm holding, to me, this is exciting. I know it's a piece of aluminum to everybody else. To me, this is very exciting. I love it. I'll let you guys see it a little bit closer here. I mean, it's still got some of the paint detail. He does not clean them up. He sends them to me as is, which is awesome. I like it that way. In fact, this one probably won't really get cleaned or washed or anything else like that. It'll just remain as it is. But yeah, so that's a piece of a Ju-87 Stuka dive bomber. Flown by the best pilot actually the Germans had to offer at the time, which was Hans Ulrich Rudel. You can see his story. You can appreciate for what it is. I mean, the guy was good at what he does, but you don't have to appreciate the man, okay? The guy was still a full-fledged card-carrying, Third Reich member, and and was unrepentant about it. So sorry, that's just not one of my things. I'm not going to glorify that. That's not what we do here. We glorify history. We want people to learn from history, and this is an amazing piece of it. But you can look up his story. He was one hell of a pilot. He terrified the Russians. He did a really good job taking out tanks in that dive bomber. He took out a battleship with a single bomb. So yeah, he was pretty good at it. He even at one point, this wasn't the only plane he was shot out from underneath or shot out of. This was one of several actually, but this just happens to be the one that was in the Courland Pocket. The only one that was, like I said, that was guaranteed that it was his, and it was a Stuka dive bomber. He confirmed this downing later on in life, but he was downed, like I said, multiple times. I think about 29 times. I mean, the guy got shot down a lot, but man, he had so many medals. You know, I don't know how he'd stand up if he put them all on. I mean, he was a good warfighter. I hate to say that, being he was the opposition and all, but it's absolutely true. He was. But at one point, he had his leg blown off by ground fire. He had it basically below the knee, just boom, gone. Managed to land that plane, and within, they said just like a month, maybe two, after losing his leg, got himself back in another aircraft and started terrorizing the Russians yet again. At the end of the war, he actually landed in my ancestral home of Würzburg, Germany, and surrendered to the Allies because, well, nobody wanted to surrender to the Russians. Did they get jump wings for all those bailouts? You know, I kind of wondered that because he really did get out of that plane quite a bit. Good question, Jeff. Yes, he was Incorruptus. He really was a tough man. But like I said, we're not here to glorify the man himself or what he stood for. Just to acknowledge, just like they do with ours, they acknowledge our best warfighters. You know, we should probably do the same to them. And again, this is a cautionary tale. You know, this is why we do history, because we want people to learn from history, understand history, and know what could possibly happen again if stupid people get in charge, which seems to be normal across the world at this point. All right, so moving right along. There's a very large object. Oh shit, there's two large objects in here. I'm gonna put the box on the floor, guys. Let's see. Yes, Incorruptus, that's the best way to put it. Hey, everybody on TikTok, I hope you're enjoying this. No, yeah, there is. Holy shit. Ooh, this is exciting. Hold up, guys. Oh no, they're stuck together. And we got our first helmet, direct from the Courland Pocket. This looks to be actually a Russian helmet. Yeah, this one's Russian. It's definitely Russian war production. Obviously, you're not going to have any. Sorry, guys, you're not going to have any markings or anything else like that because this has been in the ground for. If it was his wooden leg, Incorruptus, we would probably just end the feed. Yeah, we probably would have. It would have been done. Yeah, still got some of the strapping in here. You got to remember, it's been in the ground for 80+ years, so it's been down there quite some time. But this is definitely a Russian, and by the looks of it, you know what? I'm gonna go grab my other Russian helmet because I believe this one is actually early war. The other one is late war. Give me just a second. Yeah, this one is yeah, this is one of the late war ones. Yeah, that's definitely an early war. Definitely an early war. And if I'm not correct, this particular design, this particular helmet, that wouldn't have been, well, this guy would have been, this is the production from the Caucasus, I believe, just by the lip. I'll have to do some research on it, honestly, because I just got it myself, so I didn't even know it was coming. I did not know this helmet was coming, but this is badass. And yes, I actually like the ones that have come from out of the ground, and you know, it's more personal. It has a story behind it. It's not just something you bought from, you know, your local shop that could be possibly be a reproduction. There ain't no reproduction this shit. It's right here. Same with this one. I know where this one came from, and it has a story. Has a story behind it. It's even still got its liner. It's an original, but remember back then, of course, they made a lot of these things, and they also got repurposed. So this one was it was fixed and restamped. In fact, I believe the stamp is 1949. The original stamp was 41, 40 or 41. It's in here somewhere. I don't want to move the liner to do that. But it was repurposed in 1949. They were rebuilt and refitted, repainted. They changed. Sometimes they changed the liners. It really didn't do much to them. They kind of banged out some of the dents or whatever else like that. This one actually, if you look on the side of it, and I'll show you guys on TikTok too. There was a logo here, and I'm still doing research on what this possibly could have been because of where it was found and where it was brought back from. So that's going to be a video for a later date. But here's the difference between late war and early war. You can see there's actually a fairly big difference. But we'll put those off to the side here. Yeah, they are still standard issue. In fact, a couple of my buddies have stacks of them at their homes. Sorry, some of my friends are Ukrainian. But all right, let's move right along here because we have another helmet. I could have got a full SS uniform from a French farmer for 300 francs in the 90s, but girlfriend talked me out of it. Ian, do you know what that thing's worth now? That uniform is worth a near mint. I mean, I can't even touch helmets. You can't touch, everybody, sorry. How you doing over there? Not ignoring you, I see you. But just getting your hands on anything now. Unfortunately, I'm gonna say this. I'm telling you what, American pickers and stuff like that have ruined the relic industry, especially for us who use it to teach with. I use these items to teach people. I like teaching about history. I like talking about history. It's been a passion of mine since practically, when I learned to walk. I love stuff like that. But they've ruined it for basically shows like that, and things like that have ruined it because the relic market, it used to be, like my, it's back behind there, but my Kelly helmet. My Kelly helmet, you used to be able to pick those up for $80, $100. That Kelly helmet's about $650 now. It's ridiculous, especially for the, oh, I do too. Carletta, I love going to the Army, Navy surplus stores, and I love going to antique shops. Not the popular ones, like the ones off, out of the way, that are, in small towns and stuff like that, because that's when you find the pure items, and that's when you find the good stuff. That's not a lot less, repops, reproductions, or repurposes and stuff like that. I want them as original as I possibly can. My collection is about 99% original. The only things that are actually reproduction, which there's a couple on the desk here, is a K ration, because I wasn't going to take the actual K ration and put it on the desk. It's in a glass case, and a German potato masher. I've got the reproduction potato masher because what I'm going to do is my friends do reenactments. We do a lot of stuff like that. I'm actually going to make one of those, not kaboom function, but function for reenactments. It's gonna be able to make a slight pop. It's going to smoke. It's going to look the part, but it's just obviously not going to be the actual potato masher. Because somebody actually asked me that. I'm like, no, I'm not making an actual one. I'm making a reproduction that looks the part, that makes it look as if it's doing something. The ones in small towns, back roads, and mountains, absolutely. Love those the best. One of the best ones I've ever found was in the middle of nowhere in a town of 1,200 people. I mean, it was in a guy's garage, and it was probably one of the most amazing things. Because it wasn't, I've been across one. Try to buy a Fallschirmjäger helmet that's original. Yeah, no, I've already been trying to talk somebody out of one of those. It's just not happening. But one of the ones that I stopped at, I mean, there's been a couple of them that I've came across. Some of these places, what they'll do is they'll take items that are actually new or something like that. They'll just take them outside and sit them behind the building, and let them marinate in the sun and the rain and stuff like that, and make them look antique, and then bring them in the building. I've caught that. Some of the places I've went to also have German badges and Russian badges and Japanese stuff like that, and they have the price that you would think is an original item. They're not original items. I've called them out, and it pisses them off. Something awful when you tell them, like, you know what, this badge is not authentic. This badge is not authentic. These are all repops. These are reproductions, and it pisses them off. I had one. I'm like, well, how do you know that? I'm like, war historian. But besides that, I was like, here, let me show you something. And I flipped the badge over, and I was like, the Germans did not use that type of a way to attach it to their uniform. There was a stamp on the back that I was like, if that's not enough of a giveaway, they didn't use the way that these were made, these sheet metal-y tinny, I mean, it wasn't even a tinny for like a German tinny. It was just terrible. And I was like, by the way, it says made in China on the back. And the guy was, still to this day, it's still in that case. He's still trying to sell it as an original, and it's a it's a non-authentic reproduction. Check out old barns. Oh, I love it. There's several of them out here. There's a bomb factory from World War II, not 15 minutes from my home. Right, Ian, Maker's Mark. You know what, you guys on TikTok, I'm going to make this a little bit easier. I'm going to move you. Sorry. So I can see both screens a little bit easier. Wow, that's better. I can actually read because I got lights up here trying to light me up a little bit. I don't have, this is not my studio. This is not the studio I do things out of, so therefore, I don't have the production stuff around me. Do I collect swords or bayonets? Yes, I have several bayonets. A lot of my stuff, unfortunately, disappeared a long time ago. We lost this whole building here became a parking lot at one point because of a storm, a tornado. Just took everything from us, and I lost a lot of my relic collection. I'm still trying to build it back. Sorry, guys on YouTube, I'm not ignoring you, but I can't ignore them either because I've got both of them running. All right, let's move right along here after I get a drink and some nicotine. Because there's another helmet in here I'm dying to get out of the box. There's, yeah, guys, my YouTube friends, you can see what they can't. I'm going to show our friend Carletta here, the background. Right back there in the corner. All this stuff back here, all but that top row, all that there on the wall is authentic. Those are all authentics. There's more helmets, all sorts of fun stuff. like I said, well, you can see one of the lights I'm using right now. Unfortunately, it's going to blind you, but that's a World War One naval artillery. There's a one from Verdun, French artillery from Verdun. There's stuff all over the place. I mean, I just love this. That's what I do. I love history. We aren't that sensitive. I don't know, Jeff. Ian might be. I mean, love you, Ian. And it's not just those particular historical items either. I'm a gearhead and stuff like that, so there's actually historical things around me from race cars and stuff like that. But all right, let's get back to the box because I got another helmet in here, and there's others. Wow, hey, wait, that's another piece of the dive bomber. Shit, hold on. All right, we have another helmet. And judging by the feel of this, and I'm going just by the feel without taking it out of the plastic here. It's German. It's World War One. Guarantee you, this is a World War One helmet, and it's probably been since it was in the Courland Pocket. Chances are it may not have been because there was fighting there in World War One. A lot of people don't know that. They don't know where. A lot of these engagements happened. The Russians did fight in World War One, and they fought in that particular area. But I believe this one is one of the ones that was probably repurposed, like it was, found in a warehouse or something like that. The Germans were running out of materials, so therefore they were giving them old items. And I believe that's what this might be. So. Oh, that's beautiful. And this poor bastard had a very, very bad day. Wow, this is, dude. That's exactly what I was doing, Carletta. I was opening a mini museum up until everything just, Dorothy and Toto decided to steal my shit. But that's what I was doing is I was actually taking this stuff around and traveling and showing people. Like I said, I've got other stuff in here. I've got stuff from Iwo Jima and the occupation of Japan and stuff like that. There's stuff everywhere. My home is no different. My home, actually, I have a whole bunch of stuff at home too that eventually I want to show. And I've got stuff that's personal here that Carletta, to be honestly, I'm afraid to show. Some of the things I have because, like I said, I said at the beginning of the video here, I am, my family's from Germany. We are German and actually, obviously, because of the nice, wonderful tan, I'm American Indian as well. But I've been digging into. That's what started me as a historian. Actually, was my family. I started going through and I started researching my family and stuff like that. And for a while there, I was at a dead stop. And then a family member had passed away, and we found things hidden in their effects in their estate that blew my case wide open for the research on my own great grandfather and stuff. It was eye-opening. And it took me a while to, kind of let it sink in, but it's amazing as well because it's who has this type of history in their hands that their family, their family had. But yep, the Empire days. Many Stahlhelms were reused in World War II. I sold one for a friend on eBay that was captured at Dornby. Why did you sell it? Why didn't you just send it to me? That's rude, man. Jeff, you hurt my feelings, brother. But anyhow, back to the helmet. Actually, I'm going to stop again. Okay, going back to what I was saying about the family stuff and everything else like that. Carletta, you know how it is nowadays. You can't show people certain things because, well, they automatically assume something else. I'm unapologetically got German blood. I'm not going to say that at all. Well, Jeff, you should have had the Miss Cleo and knew that there was some time in history that you were going to run into a guy like me. But it's just how people are nowadays. They automatically think, well, if that person is in your family, then automatically all of you are. That's not true. In fact, if anybody watches my historical videos and stuff like that, they know the opposite. But back to the helmet. It actually still has paint. That is paint scheme. And I'm willing to bet that if I took this and did oxalic acid, wood acid, if you soak this in wood acid, I bet it brings out the color again. But I don't know if I want to do that. I might just seal it as it is and leave it as it is. No, we are not going live with people I do not know that aren't talking about what we're talking about, so you get over it. The pins on the helmet. You mean the Navis? But here's what I'm saying. There's a lot of paint still left on this. I know it's hard to see. Hold on a second. I got to show the YouTube people. Holy cow! Because I can't get light on it. Look. There's still paint scheme on it, guys. Those brown dots. That's not dirt. That's paint. That's paint scheme. But I'm saying that. Hey Twitch, how's it going, man? It's been a while. We're just enjoying some relics here. There's so many interpretations on what the pins are for, but we can get to that. But let's just say, like I said, this poor guy had a bad day. See the hole right there? Actually, that one right there. Yeah, see the hole right there? Guys on YouTube, can you see the hole? I know the light's terrible. It's right there. You turn it around. This is what makes it personal. There's a hole right through the forehead. This guy got hit from behind, it looks like, at least once. The rest of these holes, these little holes, they're for the liner. Actually, Carletta, believe it or not, wood acid, what the oxalic acid will do is it'll take away, very carefully, it'll actually kind of almost eat away the rust a little bit. But any paint, it brings it up and makes it brighter. The helmet that's back here, the first helmet that I got, is a good example of that. I dipped it for a long time in oxalic acid, and all of a sudden the logo on the side of the helmet started to show up. Some of the paint showed up, and this thing was just a ball of rust, which is okay with me because I wanted to preserve it. I love that kind of thing. I thought it was amazing that he sent it to me. But yeah, this is, yeah, and Corruptus, that probably hurt a little bit. I mean, it was right between the friggin' eyes too. I mean, no joke. Look. Don't try to adjust your shit. I'm bald, and this has no liner. So, yeah, he got. Oh, yeah, he's missing part of his grape back then. But yeah, look it up, Carletta. In fact, if you go to like some of the places that you're talking about, to some of these, these. Little mini museums and stuff like that where they actually do sell relics, or antique shops or anything else like that, get you something rusted. No, we're not going live together. I don't know who you are. Don't care. I'm talking about history here. That's what I'm doing. I'm not talking about anything else. But go to one of those places, get you an item, and get you some wood acid, oxalic acid. Mix it in some water. Leave it in there for a few hours. Shake it off, kind of do, add a little bit more acid, and do that for about a day or so. It's a beautiful thing. It does amazing work. In fact, I'll go grab the other helmet so you can see it. And okay, this is getting annoying. if I knew how to shut off where I could not get people to constantly try and join on my live, that'd be fantastic. They used aluminum rivets, that's why they don't last. You're right, Jeff, and which is funny because they use an iron ring for the inside of the helmet, but they used aluminum rivets. I thought it was for barrack use, march and ceremonial stuff. Yes, that is a ceremonial thing. I mean, especially if you go back as far as the pickle help, that's largely ceremonial, and they found out during World War I that it was a really bad idea to have on the battlefield because it made you a massive target. But give me 1 second, and I'll show you what oxalic acid could do. And by the way, I actually coated it in the helmet in epoxy because I wanted to encapsulate the rust. I wanted to keep the helmet as together as possible as I could. So I'll go grab that, and I'll show you what it can do. And yes, I'm a relentless caffeine and nicotine addict, so I'm constantly using this thing. Citric acid does it very differently. The oxalic acid it's more it doesn't hurt it as much. Citric acid has a little bit more of an acidity to it. I actually would be afraid I would damage the product if I did. But this is what happens with oxalic acid. Like I said, it's awfully shiny and everything because I did epoxy it. This one I wanted to because I wanted to. It's kind of well, it's been in the ground for 80 plus years, so you know. But what's amazing is it looked. Think like this one, but only 100 times worse. There was nothing left of this helmet. It looked about like this one here, which obviously you can't see any markings or anything else like that. Nothing. You know, I'll show you guys on YouTube. There is definitely a marking right there, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and bring that out in another way to see what that might possibly have been. But you couldn't see any logo, nothing like that on the helmet, no emblems, nothing at all, and now you can see there's the emblem. It started showing through, the color started showing through, and like I said, this thing was just like the other one. It was one big ball of rust. I mean, look at it. But you can see the, sorry guys about the light on YouTube. TikTok's got much better lighting. But you can see the logo. And, but this one was in really rough shape. This guy had a bad day too. He was definitely shot in a dome. And it was probably a piece of shrapnel, a big piece. So, and because of the other stuff that I have, this particular soldier definitely had a really, really bad day. Yes, this is an M40. And because of the size of it, Jeff, I would want to say that this one is, well, people were smaller back then, but this one is definitely kind of small. Obviously, I'm not going to really put it on, but she was not very big, so this is probably, definitely probably a size smaller, a size medium helmet. Yeah, isn't that awesome? Incorruptus, the red is still on there. By the way, my friends over there in Europe, the UK, France, and stuff like that, here, there, YouTube and TikTok and stuff. I'm looking for other helmets. Okay, I want a British helmet. I want a French helmet and stuff like that. I want these other items to go in with these other helmets. Primarily, what I have right now is I have 3 Americans and 2 German and 2 Russians. I would like to have you know, a British one and stuff like that. I mean, I had a French one. I had a Belgian helmet, which is, yes, it's different, and they all fluttered away. So we still got stuff in the box, guys. We still got stuff in the box. Uh-oh. Oh, he threw me a couple, some more buttons, more uniform buttons. Let's see what we got here. Those 2 are German. This one is unknown. I don't know which one that might be. I kept freezing up on YouTube. Or freezing up on TikTok. Oh, damn. Sorry. Join us anytime, Carletta. It'd be fantastic. Not just on here. Go on YouTube, YouTube Machine Radio Show. You can check us out there. Check out Lost Battlefields with Tino Struckman. If you want, I can somehow send a link to you because you might enjoy his videos. He's a pretty solid guy. Does wonderful work. And I'm sorry, guys. I know one camera's up here, one camera's up here. I'm sorry. But back in the box. Another. Oh no way. This is from a side panel of the Ju-87 Stuka dive bomber. The only reason why I know this, there's the twist knob. That's the twist lock. Chances are this could have been for the wing. This could have been for the gas door. Could have been for the you know, the undercarriage. But it does have some color to it. There is some paint still left on it. See, I'm sorry. This stuff is exciting for me. Here, guys, at YouTube. Check it out. Let's see. Am I freezing up again? I'm sorry. I don't know how I can get you, because it won't let me type to you. I'm sorry. I can try. Hold on. Let me see. Text poll, quick poll, drawing guess. What the hell? The YouTube link should be on my profile if you look. I don't know why it's freezing up. I'm sorry. Let's see what we got here. Oh, he sent me the printout. That's awesome. This is going to go up on the wall with the pieces of the Stuka dive bomber. Does anybody know how I can send messages to people on? I'll have to look up Carlette on TikTok. Hey Chris, good to see you. You're gonna have to come see this stuff in person, man. I got quite a bit here. But he sent me the printout from Hans Ulrich Rudel and approximately where the relics of the Stuka were found. That's awesome. Yeah, everybody keeps telling me that TikTok's freezing up, guys. I don't know what to do about it. I'm sorry. We still got more stuff in the box. Another button. Well, there's a lot wrong with you, dude. We know that. I mean, you're one of my friends. You have to have something a lot wrong with you to be around here. Oh, dude, another button. And that appears to be Russian. There you go, another button. And there's a, I know what this is. This is a belt buckle. We're not going to open it quite just yet. I'm going to see if there's anything else in the box before we... Yep, there's another one. Yep, another button. Okay, so that's it for the box. But let's see what we got here, huh? Oh, come on, you had... All right, I'm gonna have to talk to him and tell him stop writing things in Russian. You're gonna have to send him with the American name because, well, I don't speak or read Russian. Yes, I'm taking my time opening this. That's awesome. I'll show you guys in a second. I'll show you guys in a second. I gotta fix something on here though. I'm trying to fix a YouTube thing here. One moment. Let's see. Okay, fixed. There, that's better. Oh, I can see it again. Okay, good, good, good. All right, you guys ready for this? That is a Luftwaffe belt buckle. Man, that light is terrible up there on YouTube. I'm sorry, guys. See if I can get some. Well, I'm using my phone for TikTok, so I can't. But here, I'm gonna grab one of the lights I'm using to kind of light myself up. See if you guys can see it a little bit better. Oh, it's trying to autofocus. That's what's wrong. Sorry, guys, but that is a Luftwaffe belt buckle, and it still has. Check it out. Everything's still there. The clasp, the belt pins, everything is still there. That is awesome. This is another one of those that I could do an oxalic acid and bring out the color in it again, and it would be so much nicer. And yeah, I'm going to go through the stuff that's over here to make sure I didn't miss anything. So hold up. Because I swore a minute ago I heard something hit the ground, so I'm making sure I didn't miss anything he sent me. Oh, yep. It appears to be, yep, that's another uniform button. The one looks like a Kriegsmarine button. The other one's definitely Russian. That's awesome. Yeah, this is the kind of thing that I enjoy right here. Let's see. Are you sure the smaller helmet is not a Fallschirm version? They tend to be smaller, wasn't it? Yes, but it's not a Fallschirmjäger. The Fallschirmjäger is they're not shaped anything like this one here. The Fallschirmjäger helmet is basically like a bucket. I mean, it's literally a bowl. There's no edging, no nothing. It's just basically flat. So no, I don't believe that would be Fallschirmjäger at all. No. Yeah, similar to the British paratrooper, but not. It's definitely in resemblance only. They're not like super close, but yes, I guess you can go with that. I keep looking down here at TikTok. Love you guys and all, but I got YouTube running too, and I keep looking down at you and confusing them. But that, yeah, this is this is going to be one of my favorite pieces, I think, so far. Definitely going to be honest with you on that. This is this is great. I mean, the other ones, like I said, I've got three American ones over there. Actually, one of them's a Kelly helmet. The Kelly helmet came from a gentleman who was, um, well, you know, you remember the Bataan Death March. They when he was one of his family members was in through that, and remember the, you know, the promise, I will be back. So they did come back, and that helmet came from Bataan. It was the precursor to our M1 helmet. It was what we used right before. It's not a Brody, it's a Kelly. There's a difference. Well, Incorruptus, that's what I want. You know, I'm more than likely, I want stuff that has a story to it, because other than that, it's just being, you know, I mean, war collections are awesome and they're great to teach people with, but to have a story with it is what makes it important to me. I want people to know that, you know, the stories behind it and what possibly that, you know, either side went through, and how the item uh, came here, how it came to be in my possession, and everything else. I mean, like I said, I got stuff behind me that I would show. I got other things here that I would show, but the problem is some places you can't show it because one, somebody will get the wrong idea, because, you know, triggered people and all. They don't want to learn history. They don't want to understand it. They just think that if you do and if you teach with it, that you're automatically, you know, clapping for these people. That's not the truth. But there's stuff with certain logos on them and everything that I can't show because I'll hurt somebody's feelings, and then they'll turn me into some sort of you know, TikTok or tuber jail or whatever else you want to call it. But actually, I could show this stuff to my YouTube family. I just can't show it to my TikTok family because, well, people lurking in the background probably be butthurt and say something that isn't true, and report the video. But I guess I can go back there and grab the other helmets, and I can share with you guys the other American helmets I got. One of them's really not that important, but I collected it anyway because to me it, in a way, it was important. In fact, I have the original sign that went with it. It's a police helmet from World War II, and I've got an air raid warden sign and helmet as well, but the helmet's not here. So. Well, Incorruptus, I'm an unapologetic historian. I will show you everything, but there's certain places I can't show things with. Most specifically, the whole TikTok thing. Last time I showed a piece of my collection on there, it went haywire quick. Let's see here. Well, do you guys want to see the other helmets? Do you want to see the Kelly, the M1? The police, basically the air raid helmet for the police, stuff like that. Your TikTok base is a lot of Ukrainians? No, they're not the ones that get butthurt. But my friends are Ukrainian, yes. I got friends from across the world. You're one of them. No. It's just it's the modern age, Incorruptus. Most people, I can't say most people, but there's a lot of people out there that don't understand that history needs to be taught and shown and understood, and items like this are important. But if it has something that might upset them, then they go fruit, and they turn you into the powers that be for simply trying to teach them about historical items. I hope that makes sense, because that's basically what it is. All right, Ian says yes, he wants to see the other helmets. Okay. Like I said, relentless nicotine addict, caffeine addict, you know it. But yeah, give me 1 second. I will go snag some of the other items. Okay, I leave and something happens in there. Your live may contain themes not suitable for younger audiences and has been age restricted. Fine. I guess we can show whatever we want now, because now it's age restricted, even though history is not age restricted, and I haven't shown anything that would possibly harm a child or anything else. Yes, I just got an age restriction. You know that door's locked, Mr. Evans, okay? Actually, it's not locked, but it should be. In fact, I need to actually go out that door for just a split second and then probably lock it, so I don't get interrupted for my friends here on TikTok or my friends here on YouTube. Yes, I went and grabbed the helmets. There's a couple other things I'm going to grab, so yeah, I'll do that in sequence here. I'm going to run out the door real quick and I'll go lock it, because Chris might come and show his package through that door. And then we'll show some other items. Since now I'm restricted on TikTok, I can show some other items. No, you don't remember that code. That's electromagnet coded. That's right. All right, I'm back. I grabbed some of the other items. Like I said, I got some more of the personal items that came with this helmet here. The one that that I did the wood acid and the coating with. It's a simple piece of aluminum. But what this is, and you can't see the detail on YouTube. You really can't. This is part of his cigarette case. Here's his part of his mess tin, which I got some of the mess tin up there. I got part of it right here too. Does the number 11 run on gas or methanol? Yep, that's definitely off topic, Jeff. We run race gas in that. We ran alcohol for many years. We switched it over to race gas and have never been happier. It's easier to keep our our tune, so to speak, and it makes considerable amount more power and is less of a pain in the ass. It's not as hard on our engines either. But like I said, here's a part of his mess tin, and I'll show TikTok here first. You can barely see it, but there's actually an inscription in there. He scratched his name into it. His initials would be HB, and it looks like there's other scratches in here, other names in here that I so far haven't been able to. It's kind of hard to see on this aluminum. I'm going to actually try and bring out, because chances are this has probably been through 2 or 3 different people right up until this poor sort got nailed. And the reason why I say that is right there in the handle. See that? Right there in the handle, guys. Oh, it looks good on YouTube. Wow. That's a bullet strike. And where they had this was on their side. So not only did he have a bad day and get shot through the grape, actually, like I said, to me, the damage in the helmet doesn't look like a bullet strike. It looks like a piece of shrapnel went through the helmet. So either way, he got his eggs scrambled. But like I said, there's other markings in here. They're just very shallow, unlike the HB. So it looks like, wow. One of them is angle. E-N-G-L-E, that's angle. And then there's this particular soldier's letters of HB, but there's another one on the top. I don't know if you guys can see that. You can see the HB plain as day, but right up above it, very shallow, says angle. And there's right there, there's another one right there. And for you guys, I don't know if you can see it either. You can see the HB, which is obviously transposed on the screen. And it says angle right here, and there is a couple more initials up there. Very funny, Jeff. Let's see. There's other. I mean, like I said, there's things around me everywhere. There's pieces of history all over this place. That's funny. Yeah, you guys did hear that I just got restricted on TikTok, right? Because my items may not be suitable for children. Let's see. It was also strapped to bread bag or Y straps too. This is true. But a lot of their kit, well, like you said, the Y straps, they had stuff here. They had mostly in the back, but those big mess cans and everything else like that were basically on their sides. All right, well, you know what? Let's get back to the helmets. You want to get back to the helmets? We still got three more down here that I can show you. You want to go back to the helmets, or do you want me to find other stuff? Because I got other stuff too. All right, this one here. This is it's an American. It's a police helmet from World War II, but if you notice, it's pretty much, which shape that is. But it still has part of the badging on it. The triangle with the circle, that's police. I have an air raid helmet. I've got an air raid warden's sign on the wall. an original. You know, all that stuff over there is original. Still got the liner. Liner's not in bad shape at all, especially for its age, but it's still there. These, you know, you can get these for considerably cheaper. I wanted to collect them because it's still a part of history, and it's a part of our history, and it's important. I believe in keeping these things around. A lot of people repurpose these, rebadge them because you can make them look like World War I helmets. Some of the guys were using them for reenactments. They were getting them cheap, and then they were redoing them. I don't want to molest the helmet. I want to keep it as is. Now remember, I was talking about baton, and man, this one's getting tore up. Talking about baton and what helmets we may have had then, because remember, the Japanese took over that area fairly quickly, so we did not have time to ship the new M1 helmets and be it really any supplies to our guys. So they were still using what they call a Kelly helmet. And this is one of those helmets. It's still got the original liner. You know, it's not a bad helmet at all, but it's still got the original liner, but you can tell the liner is damaged. The leather's kind of tore through from use and stuff like that. But again, you know, the majority of the stuff that I have comes from I want to have the story behind it. I want to know where it came from. This came from a particular man that, like I said, he was his brother. I'm sorry, was in on the Bataan when the Japanese overran it, and these were the helmets that they were wearing at the time. This one here, after MacArthur went back, you know. This was a bring back. This was just a keepsake. It does have some slight damage and stuff like that, but otherwise it's largely intact. The liner looks pretty good considering the circumstances. But it's a really nice helmet, and I'm lucky to have it in my collection. I really am. Now this one, this is obviously an M1. This was also brought back. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and shut the live feed on TikTok down because, well, nobody can watch it because it's restricted. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill it off. Carletta, if you're still there, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and shut the TikTok feed down, and I will get you the link. You can come join us on YouTube sometime and stuff. All right, now I'm shutting that down. Live has ended. 267 views. Sorry guys, I'm trying to shut all this stuff off. Alright. Alright guys, you are now my sole priority, YouTube. My people. So let's keep going on. Now this one is obviously an M1. And oh, the strap had come undone. The chin strap is missing. The liner is it's not to this particular helmet. The liner that was in this helmet was largely destroyed. I got this one just so it had the webbing still, so I could put it on a stand and everything. But this was a bring back. It was another soldier's bring back, and it had some sort of marking on the side. We don't know what that is. He doesn't either. He thinks that actually happened before he got his hands on it. But he brought one back to to remember what happened during the war. And of course, he's long since passed. Remember, they use these things to wash in and everything. You can't really see it, but there's actually a big brown mark here where they were using this to obviously to heat up and and cook in it. That's because that's what they did. They'd pull the liners out, they would cook in them, they would wash them, bathe in these things. But this is a later version of it, late World War II, not the early. So that's all. I mean, that's all the helmets. There's a total of 7 sitting there already. Still not quite what I had before, but it's awesome. But there's a couple other things I'm going to show you guys, and I'm probably going to, how much you want to bet that once this is done, because I'm showing these items, even though I'm off of TikTok, that there's going to be somebody complaining on YouTube. Because, history and all. I'm almost willing to bet that somebody will. In fact, I'm trying to bring something up here. Okay, that's not going to work. No, those were fixed bail. Yeah, those were fixed bail, Jeff. The first ones were fixed bail. Or did I get that backwards? Great. Now I actually got to check because I think I just lost my mind. I think they were fixed bail. I mean, it was a redesign of the 1917, but give me a minute, because seriously, I lost my train of thought. I done screwed myself up. But yeah, this is not a fixed bail. This is a swivel bail. Yeah, but I should remember, Jeff, because it's my it's my helmet, and this is kind of what I do. So I hate sometimes. All right, let's get back to it here. Let's find the my chart, because I've got a chart for the helmets. Yeah, the M1 helmet only, man. I think the M1 helmet that I had that was fixed bail was a 43, so I might be backwards. No, I'm right. Yeah, no, Jeff, I remember now. Yeah, the fixed bail was early war. They did the swivel bail late war. Because what they were doing is they were actually breaking these off, so they kind of redid that. This is the correct liner. It's just not the liner that came with the helmet. Now this, I actually should be wearing white gloves to touch. I'm going to be honest with you. In fact, before I do that, like I said, I got stuff everywhere. Yeah, that big poster that's back there on the wall, that's a World War One. That's a World War One food drive poster. I have a World War One magazine and stuff like that that a gentleman had passed on to me. It is not here. I actually finally took it home. So unfortunately, I can't show you guys that, but here's something that I'm going to be doing later on, if and when I can ever get the funds up to get more stuff. I'm going to get a scan bed that's big enough to where I can actually scan these newspapers and scan these magazines and stuff like that, and put them on an online archive so you guys can actually see them for yourself and appreciate them without me having to possibly damage them by taking them out and stuff like that. The full leather ring must have been comfy. I don't know about that. That helmet is not comfortable. Yeah, no, this is really not all that comfortable. I'll take a piss pot or a Kevlar over this one. This son of a bitch actually rings, listen. Not very protective. It's really, really thin, actually. Alright, so like I said, I should actually be wearing gloves for this. This is another soldier bring back. I'll tell you part of the story behind it first. A soldier here in town who was Army infantry, obviously on the Western Front. This is a bring back that he brought back, and I love having a story behind it, knowing where it came from. And of course, I know what it is, and you'll probably know what it is once I show you. But like a DeSoto hubcap, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of what they are. But like I said, you know what? Hey guys, before I touch this, before I actually show it to you, I've got some gloves back there. I'm gonna go grab some gloves because I do not want to handle this with oily hands, bare hands, and I've been touching all those other helmets. So I'm gonna grab some gloves so I can actually show it to you. Ian, you got a reproduction M40. That's nice. I really don't do much in the way of reproduction, only because authenticity is very important to me when teaching about this stuff. I'm gonna go grab some gloves so I can touch this. Yeah, some things I don't want to handle. I don't want to damage it, because a lot of these are museum quality items. I don't want to damage them, especially soft goods like this. So get ready for your exam. Wow, that's freaking wicked, isn't it? What the camera is doing to the glove. It's because I forgot to shut off the autofocus on the camera, so everything looks wicked. Hey Jeff, As military, you know what this is. Cough. All right, so like I said, you know, this was from a local soldier that brought this back from the battlefield, and that's what makes it to me makes it more important, because I know where it came from on the Western Front and everything, so and it's rather large. This is probably the best looking German Red Cross flag that I've seen, complete with still has the hooks and everything. It does have some staining, obviously. After 80 years, it's been put away. But the family made sure, because of me doing the museum stuff and everything, that this was given to me. And like I say, it's still in really, really good shape. I mean, you got some staining and stuff like that. But this is from the German Red Cross. This is their flag, and it's pretty good size. That's the reason why it's not in a display case or anything as of yet. And I also want to get the print up from this, about the soldier who brought it back and everything else like that to go with it, because that to me is just as important as the historical item itself, is the story behind it. But that's why I didn't want to, kind of grab it with my hands. I didn't want to run the possibility of adding more problems to it, more staining, anything else like that. They're not as common as you would think, Incorruptus. That's why you probably haven't seen one. Matt, it's unbelievable how well this is. Were you here for this whole show, or did you just kind of poke back in on me, brother? There's something hanging from a hat. One of these days, what I would like to do is I'd like to do a separate video on separate videos on some of the items. Do the history of what this flag was and where it came from and stuff like that. That's something I really want to do. I want to get back into making my history videos, guys, but as multi-talented as I am, I can't, for the life of me, write a script very well. I've done, I've written some pretty good video shorts and stuff like that, but for some reason I just don't have that. Yeah, I just don't have that. Don't have that ability. But like with the helmets, I want to go with the history of how we got to the M1, the history of this flag, stuff like that. But it's just it's hard. It's it's not one of my talents. I'm sorry. Friggin' chair. Let's see here. Well, and you heard me say it on for the TikTok video that this is a World War I British shell, and it's from the British Navy. In fact, if you look right there at the bottom, you can see the anchor at the bottom of it. And surprisingly, after all these years and everything and being packed around and finally getting into my hands, there's only one slight ding in the whole that thing, the casing. I had a brain fart. These were reproduced, or not reproduced. I mean, they were reproduced. They were produced massively for keepsakes from World War One. But I have a French shell that has been turned into trench art, as they call it, and it's marked Verdun. I'll go ahead and. So you can see where it says Verdun on it, but these, although are highly collectible and are worth something, they're just not. Well, it's not, the actual trench art like you would find on the battlefield. Some of these, that's where they got the idea, but I mean, you can tell it's been fluted, it's been embossed, which means probably it's been in a machine and then it's been, pressed. The bullet is just a piece of wood. And this, I did not do this. This came with it. And that's what makes this one actually slightly rarer than most, because these were largely lost. Most of them didn't have them. So the fact that I have one that's, a direct, copy of the original round is kind of rare. It's funny you mention ashtrays, Jeff. One moment. Here's one made out of a howitzer. It's out of a 105. Of course, I'm fighting the urge to actually redo it a little bit. I want to get some 50 cal casings and cut them down and kind of put them on here and make it proper. I can do that because, well, this is just a piece of it's the bottom of a 105. I have an actual 105 next to me, at least the casing, and it's a Vietnam era 105 that's from a from one of our tanks, from I believe a Patton. Exactly, that's what I want to make it into as a cigar tray. Years ago, the British cops could arrest you for having brass shells. That sucks, dude. I was going to say something else entirely, but I won't. It's okay now, but back in the 60s and 70s, that's crazy. Hang on, I'll grab the 105, which, by the way, is just basically a change jar for me. Hold on. Say hello to my little friend. Yeah, you can hear it. There's change in it. I actually use it as a change jar. There was no primer, so I had to tape it over. But I got this from a dear friend of mine. May he rest in peace. He passed away several years ago. Very awesome man. And when he called me and said, "Hey, I got something for you," and he said I could go ahead and take this, I was very proud to have it. Not just because of what it is, but because of who it came from. He, like I said, dear sweet man. I miss him greatly. I used to love going up to the Army Navy surplus and sitting back and drinking coffee and talking to him all the time. He was a regular in there, as am I. So I remember you, Otto. You're a good dude. Ian, you wouldn't believe the shit we have here, right? Yeah, pretty much, Jeff. Oh, how long have we been on anyway? We've been on for a little while. I mean, I got a few more items I could show you here. Some of my items, like I said, are at my home, but I got a few more items here, and I wish I could just take this camera and show you guys the racing collection too, because I love my racing collection on my wall. Not near as impressive as what it once was, but it can be again. But some of the other items here are actually personal. They're from my family. So I'll leave it up to you guys. If I get a unanimous vote that you guys want to see some of this stuff, I'll show you. But I'll leave it up to you. Christina, you probably missed quite a bit, a considerable amount. I went through an unboxing of some more items that a friend of mine sent me, and some of the items that I have here and stuff. And Cryptus, I want to see it all. I know, but okay. Christina says yes, please. Like I said, if I get a unanimous vote, I'll show you some of the stuff that's personal to me because it's family related. Okay, I've got other photos under there. I'll grab them in a minute. We'll go into to this folder first because it's the most important. It's the precursor to everything. And again, I went ahead and left the gloves on because I usually don't touch these things, you know, by bare hand very much. I try not to. Okay, like I said, you guys know that my my ancestry is German and American Indian, and this wine is strong. Okay, good for you. That's awesome. But this comes from. I'll give you a little bit of a background before I even open this envelope and take something out of it. Yes, my great-grandfather did, in fact, fight for the German army. Yes, he was a card-carrying member of the Nazi Party. He was also killed in 1944, so... Oops. I'm not going to... Just because he's a part of my family doesn't mean I'm going to... agree with what he stood for. Absolutely not at all. And it took me a long time after I started doing research into my family to come to grips with the fact that one of my family members was actually a part of the German army, and not just a part of the German army. He was actually, a Nazi. It took me a while to come to grips with that. Actually, it took a good friend of mine who is a third-generation Holocaust survivor. He lost a lot of his family in the Holocaust and stuff, and I told him, I was like, I was telling him about this, and I found out more about my great-grandfather, and I don't like it. I'm uncomfortable with it, and, I was like, how can you be proud of, who you are, or where your people are from, if you have something like this in your family? And he said the most profound thing ever. He goes, are you him? Do you think like him? I said, absolutely not. I wouldn't be talking to you if I was. He said, precisely. He goes, you're trying to teach people about this stuff. You want them to know about what happened so that this may not repeat itself, correct? I'm like, yes. He goes, you're a good man. You're doing the right thing. You are not him. He said it twice. He goes, you are not him. And I understood what he was saying, so I kind of went through it. This needs to be, speaking of my great-grandfather. That's him outside of his uniform. That's him outside of his uniform. This is him with actually, I believe, my great aunt and my great grandmother prior to being shipped off again. Area's beautiful, isn't it? That's right outside of Würzburg, Germany. Let's see which one this is. If this is the important one or if this is just... Nope, that's not it. Okay, so this right here is actually probably one of the rarest pieces of paper, at least on the state side. Okay, you can buy reproductions of them. You can buy ones that, you know, the cards and whatever else like that. But this is the actual death notice of my great grandfather. This is the real deal. This is what was typed out and sent to the family. It's getting brittle. It's starting to fade, but I'm going to put it into a safety case and stuff like that here soon, so it can be seen. And I will scan it into my archives so everybody can see it. But see, it's even got the stamp down there. It's got the signature of the doctor that pronounced him deceased. But this one piece of paper, this tiny little old, frail piece of paper, blew open all the research I did on my family instantaneously. I knew when he was born. I knew when he died. And I knew approximately where he died and where he was buried. What I didn't know was what unit he was in, where they lived during World War II, which I found on Google Earth. No shit. Found the apartment building on Google Earth. I know exactly what apartment it is that they lived in. You could see it from the aerial, and you could tell that the buildings around there, that the bricks have been changed in certain areas and stuff like that because they were bombed out. It's amazing to know where we absolutely came from. It is very yellowed. You just can't tell from the camera, Jeff. I will take photos of it and show you guys later on Discord or something like that. I'll take the photos of that. But that little piece of paper, everything I knew, everything I'd learned about him, all the years of research and contacting the Bundesarchiv and whatnot, and the the German, just contacting Germany, period. This just opened it up. I could not believe what I was seeing. I honestly, when I first opened the thing up and seen what it was, I was just taken back. I could not, the words just wouldn't come out of my mouth. I couldn't believe it. The cause of death, according to what I translated on that paper, was a chest injury. So either he was shot or he was crushed. One person says crush injury. The other person says, it could possibly be shot. But so it was a chest injury. He was in France. He was part of the occupation force and part of the security, 8th Battalion, 835 Security Battalion. Their past is far from notable. I don't want to get into that right now. But he was an officer. We are not 100% for certain. Tino and I have been trying to figure that out. That piece of paper does not really say that much. When it comes to that, I wish it did, but at least I haven't been able to. I haven't translated the whole thing. It may actually be in there. I don't know, but we do know that he was at first an enlisted rank, and then he did become an officer. And I've got proof of him being an officer and stuff in here. Let's see here. But first, I am going to do something here. I'm going to take off these gloves. I'm going to have to go get another set. But I'm going to have to take these gloves and I'm going to have to go out that little door right there and go take a piss. So, I've been holding this for a while. One moment, guys. I'll be right back. And we'll do a couple more of these photos and stuff like that. And we'll finish the video up for now because I don't want it to continue to run on. Even though I love talking to you guys about history and that's just my thing, I don't want it to, be overdone because other people are going to go back and watch it and stuff. Incorruptus, I did. Yeah, I really had to go, man. It was happening. There's no ants out there. It's raining like a mother right now, but shit. I forgot gloves. Hold on. By the way, I'm actually just going to convert this into a, it's just going to be my trash can at my desk. I'm not joking. But this is probably something else you've never seen before pertaining to World War II. And a good friend of mine gave it to me. I was thrilled. And I'm actually just going to turn that into my trash can. Hey, what's going on, Al? You missed the majority of this. You might want to go back when this ends here shortly, here in a bit. But like I said, having some of these items, especially for my family, I mean, how rare is it, especially here, that you have not only photos, but the death notice of your own family member? Yeah, I get it, Jeff. I get it. I mean, that's a rarity to have these type of items. You have an LMPV for sale, so buy it and drop it off. Christmas is coming up. So is my birthday at the end of next month, so you can just drop it off. It'd be awesome. I found half of a Sherman tank the other day. Because remember, we had a lot of excess even here, and they were turning them into things. But let's get back to the photos here. This photo was taken in 1941. This is actually that's my grandmother. I don't believe Incorruptus. I don't believe he was SS. Although the security battalion could possibly be tied to such, but I don't believe he was actually SS. But he was an officer. Uncle Claus. Let's see. I'm going through some of these because some of these obviously I'm not gonna show you. It's just personal stuff. Castle Vikersheim? There's actually the let's see here. Vikersheim, Ritterstall. Okay. That's the inside of it. Like I said, a lot of this stuff I'm gonna scan so you guys can see these. Hey, what's wrong with lederhosen? There's actually a photo of me as a child dressed in lederhosen. I'm not kidding you. Yes, my family did that to me. Let's see here. Soma. Not it. Like I said, I'm going through some of these. Some of these are just personal photos. Remember that apartment building I told you guys about? Thanks to wonderful technology, and you can do an aerial view and everything else like that. I pinpointed where this alley is and where this flag was hanging. See the flag in the background? The markings where the horse trough used to be, is actually still in that alley. It's a drive alley now, but you can still see from the aerial. You can make out the dots where that used to be. So I figured out exactly where the flag there was. And this is a little off topic, but it's still war related. It's World War I. Great grandmother. But back to let's see here. What we got here? Oh, speaking of World War I, these would be like great, twice removed uncles and stuff like that. This is all World War I, and obviously one of them at least was an officer. And I can't read German cursive, so I can't read what that's written back there, but it has their names. I know who they are. But one of the most popular names, of course, being Wilhelm. And back to my great-grandfather that we were talking about, the one from the death notice and everything. My great-grandfather's brother built tanks for World War I. That's badass. I'll show you the photo and then I'll point him out because it's hard. It's kind of hard to do. But I was told that this is France as well, but I'm not sure where. But I'm going to point him out if I can and make it understandable. Right there. The one with the officer's hat on, that's him. And the next photo is him during the occupation too, and this is where it gets kind of uncomfortable historically because it's just around the time of the Paris Roundup, so I'm not really super thrilled about it, but They do, Jeff. But this one is only marked 443. So I would have to get into the German archives once again and try and find where that number, what that number correlates to with regimental photographers or whatever else like that during the occupation. And it's going to take a little bit. This one, on the other hand, is a little bit easier, but I guarantee the person that took this photo didn't survive the war because of what I found out about this particular photographer and stuff. And he was a Parisian. He was from Paris, but this is in front of the Eiffel Tower. And once again, I'm going to scan all these so you guys can see them and everything else like that. But I'm putting my finger on him. That's my great-grandfather right there. And the dates, the date is on the bottom of the photo too, if you guys want to look that up and see how close it was to that particular date I was talking about. Well, here, let me try and get some light to it. Maybe it'll help. Yeah, this is not working out. Okay, so I'll just scan that because that's not going to work out. And another rarity. It's a birth certificate, but it's like James Bond style because it's microfilm. This is the original of the birth certificate of my great aunt, which I will not show directly to the camera for reasons. But well, here I'll just do this so you can see that it's real. Oh. You can't barely make it out, I'm sorry, but it's a microfilm blank of her birth certificate. Now I got a couple more photos after this that I'm going to show you guys. Oh, here's one of the other World War I ones. This one's been water damaged. It's kind of a... But it's marked on the back, Uncle Wilhelm, Uncle Willie. But this is World War I as well. And judging by the looks of things, he was also an officer. In fact, that painting that you see right there, kind of picking his nose from a distance here, right above the World War I poster, that's a World War I painting, and that's of my great-great-grandfather. I don't want to take it off the wall, so I'm not going to get it down and bring it over here so you guys can see it. But I got a couple more photos I'm going to show you, and then we'll call the live because, like I said, I don't want this to be super... It's already really long, but I don't want it to be super long. Yeah, I think you've seen the painting in person, haven't you? Hey, it's what we do in Corruptus, and I'm glad to be able to share it with you guys. Since my great-grandfather was killed in '44, my great-grandmother remarried. They moved to Canada. I got to know him. He was actually a Kriegsmarine and apparently a major badass. He was, oh man, he was on U-boats, and he was credited with several Allied ship sinkings. So he was good at his job. But he was also probably the luckiest, most unlucky man I've known, because he had several boats shot out from underneath of him. In fact, the last one he was very lucky to survive, because he was only one of literally a handful out of the several hundred that were on that on that U-boat to actually survive it. But he lived into old age. He's a good he was a decent guy. He was not a part of the Nazi party. He was not a unrepentant piece of crap. I'm gonna say that. He was not. He didn't believe in that at all. He just fought for Germany like some did. In fact, he was one of the few that didn't, since he was out on the boats and everything else like that, didn't even know really what was going on, because they didn't see the shore and all that much up until the end of the war. And then of course he's like, yeah, nope, not good. There's my great grandfather in his uniform, right there. That's my great grandmother, or my grandmother. Sorry, not my great grandmother. That's my grandmother. Sorry, I'm going through to see which ones I want to show you guys and which ones are just personal family photos and stuff like that that wouldn't they have no historical context other than my family. Got photos of Berchtesgaden in 1952. That's pretty badass. But no, I'm not a history guru. I'm just a historian that keeps continuously learns. And I learn it the right way. I don't, use some obscure publication that has zero sources, or my attention span's more than 5 to 15 minutes, and my stuff comes from actual archives, not Google. Jeff, you're right. I do, even though it's to me almost a dark history, I do appreciate the fact that I have the history of my family. I believe there's a couple more World War I photos in here I'm going to show you guys, and then a couple more photos of my great-grandfather. Yep, here's the painting that's on the wall that I was telling you guys about. Here's a photo of him just himself. That's World War One. Unconfirmed, because I don't know much enough about him to actually say it is, but I'm going to let you guys try and help me on this one. Yeah, there it is. This one right here. That's a uniform of sort. I wonder if that's the youth, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, Ian, I'm not saying I deny it. I mean, I have an Edelweiss tattooed on my arm. What I mean is, I don't deny that my family's from Bavaria. I'm proud of that fact. I'm not proud of a particular thing in history, if that makes sense. But we can't control us ourselves of what our ancestors may have done. What we can do is teach people about it and hope it never happens again. That's if that makes sense. Incorruptus, I'd like to hear that story sometime if you want to share. And remember, Germans for Germany, right? There were ethnic Germans that were also killed in the camps. No, Ian, I didn't mean it that way. I just meant, I was just giving an explanation. That's not, trust me, I didn't take it any way other than what you meant. Trust me, I get it. No, you didn't say anything out of line or bother me or no. I know what you were saying. No, I get that, Incorruptus, but there's still always always something that we can do to teach people about their memory. Oh, the John Wilkes Booth. That's crazy. Yeah, no, Incorruptus. Trust me. There's always a way. I think we can dig and find information. Okay, I've got a couple more photos for you guys, and then I'm going to end the live because it's been going on forever, absolutely forever. Again, we're talking about the rarity of the photos and stuff like that, and having a history of your family. Well, aside from having his death notice, how many people do you think have photos of their family actually on the battlefield? These blew my mind. When I found these, I was just, taken back. I don't even know what to say to portray that thought. But I'm like, this is not real. This can't be. This is, in terms of history, this was just unbelievable. There's the top one. And this is him right here. That's my great grandfather. Right here, yeah, other hand, dumbass. This photo here, he's doing his guard duty, of course. Crap. Everything's reversed, I'm sorry guys, but where my pinky finger is here. That's also him, of course. That looks like, we believe it's either northern France or could possibly be our ancestral home of Würzburg. But that's him standing in front of what obviously used to be a building. Remember where I'm leaving off? I should do a part 2. I should have done a part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 because this has gotten ridiculously long, and I apologize to everybody for. I'm happy as hell you guys stuck with me and took the time to, but I should have cut it into sections and just did it that way. I should have done, the unboxing and stopped, and done some of my collection and stopped, and done, I should have done it that way, but. Like I said, I want to take some of these pieces and I want to do them separately and do a story behind them and do kind of like a mini series on it, on the history of the item. Oh, that's better. Oh, it's much better. Yes, I can feel my fingers again. I like rubber gloves, man. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, I know there's a couple other things in here, but that's pretty much what I've got for you guys today. Um, I do want to, like I said, I don't have the funding right now. I just don't have the funding for anything. Most specifically, like my history, either bringing more stuff to my history collection or um, uh, yeah, there's a lot of things. I need to get a scan bed, and I'm talking like the scan bed from hell, because it needs to be a very large one. I found a couple of them, but I just don't have the money to pick one up right now. But like I said, I've got newspapers and magazines and other things from World War I until when Kennedy was killed and stuff like that. That I would love to get into an archive that you guys can see. I want to make a website where you guys can go on there and be like, hey, you know what? I want to see what happened in 1918 in New York, and you can open up this magazine and actually, as if you were reading the real magazine, check it out. But that's going to be a ways off. I don't have the money right now, and I probably won't have it for quite some time to actually get more equipment to do this stuff, or even to get more items. But we'll work on it, okay? Like I said, I do have some other items that are at home that I'll bring here, and we'll talk about, we'll discuss on another video. But I think we're done for now. We'll go ahead and end the video because it's been so long. But you guys are more than welcome to join me on Discord too, on the Lost Battlefields channel, and talk to me through there. I really need to start my own channel on there, so you guys can just go straight to that. But come and join me. Am I going to be on Thursday? Yes, I'll be on Sunday. I'll be on tomorrow too. Don't forget about that. But for now, I appreciate each and every one of you guys for joining me. This is what one of the things I love to do. Of course, I love talking about that hand. That monstrosity back there, my cousin's race car. I love talking about racing, and everything else. But I love my history stuff. I really need to get back to my history stuff. I really need to start producing more videos and everything else like that. But thank you guys very much for joining me and taking the time to sit out with me and join. Al, if you get on onto Discord, look up Lost Battlefields and become a member, and you can hang out with us. But on that note, I'm out here, guys. Thank you very much.